To aggravate your mark is to tamper with his tires. And the simplest thing to do here would be to unscrew the valve cap and let the air out. Now, the best thing to do would be all 4 tires. But if you don't have enough time, make sure you do the front tires. That way it's hard to steer and your mark can't drive off that easily. Now, a lot of people recommend putting glass or nails under the tires. But believe me, for the best results, let the air out yourself. Now, one thing that every car needs is gas. And this car is no exception. Now, if the situation warrants it, and you need to damage the engine, the best way of doing that is adding some things to the fuel. Like
sugar,
baking flour, sugar, regular granulated sugar, or glue, epoxy. Now, this will certainly damage the engine, cost a lot of money, cost your mark a lot of time, and it will certainly drive your mark crazy. My clients are always asking me for an easy, efficient way of providing their marks with a massive headache. Well, I have just the thing. A locking gas cap. Now, you can buy this gas cap in any auto parts store, a couple of dollars. What you do here is remove the unlocking gas cap and replace it with the locking gas cap. You just screw it on here, turn it, take the key. That's the important thing here. You have to take the key. Then when your mark goes to fill up, he can't get his gas cap off. Provides a massive headache. Come with me. Okay, here's one that dozens of clients have tried, and it really works. Take a can of black spray paint, spray the headlights. That way your mark will not be able to drive at night until he has them
and die. A lot of this just kill the mark, I think. You know what I mean? Just cut the brakes. Like W murder shit, you know what I mean? What the fuck? Oh, this is truly a W murder stream. All right, I gotta pee. I'll be back.
Now, did I mention what you can do with a license plate? You can remove it and hide it. Or better yet, replace it with an out-of-state plate. Now, while we're down here, way in the back is the exhaust pipe. What you can do with that is take a potato or some other solid object, stuff it into the exhaust pipe, and the engine won't start. Do that at night, and your mark will be late for work. Now, if you're fortunate to get under the hood, there are a lot of things we can do here. Okay, let's start over here. This is where you put the windshield washer fluid. But instead of putting the fluid, what you put in is cooking oil. What happens then, when the mark starts his windshield washers, oil goes all over the windshield, which attracts a lot of dirt and a lot of dust. All right, the next thing here we'll deal with is cooling system. The idea is to put substances in there that expand with water. Baking flour, pancake batter, or even paper mache. Now, you can also put sand in here. Sand does not expand with water, but it will certainly do the job. Now, speaking of sand, this is where you put the engine oil. Put sand in there, and you will certainly damage the engine. Now, last little tip here, the distributor coil. Take one of these coils off, put chewing gum up into the coil, put it back on. Now, that will cause the car to bulk, to possibly even stall. The great thing here, though, is when the mark takes the car to the gas station to his mechanic to try to get it fixed, it's almost impossible to find out what's wrong with it. Now, you do not have to be a mechanic to do all these things. You just have to be a little mad. Happy motoring.
Aren't you glad he's not your mechanic? Whew. Now, let's check back with investigator Quinn Vickers, who has a few more tantalizing ideas to tease your vengeful mind.
Here's a few miscellaneous ideas you might try out on your marks. Sending a letter is a beautiful trick, and it works so simply. All you need is a plain piece of paper, and you cut out the letters from magazine or newspapers, right? You gotta say, "Dear so-and-so," the mark's name, "I know what you're up to." Now, if he's like most people, he's got something he's doing that he shouldn't be doing, and he's gonna feel guilty, and he's gonna wonder who knows about it. And even if he hasn't done anything recently, You're going to drive them up the wall wondering why anybody would send something like this to them. Now, if your mark is a member of the minority, you might turn him over to the Immigration Service. This is going to cause him hours and hours of endless paperwork trying to prove he's a citizen of this country. Listen to what one of my clients did.
I've been having some problems with my next-door neighbor. I loaned her some money, and she just refused to pay me back. So I was getting a little irritated, and a friend of mine told me to call, Mr. Vickers. And I did, and he was very nice. And what he told me to do was call the Internal Revenue Service and tell them that she had a business on the side and was making money, and, she hadn't been reporting her income. So what they did was, when I called up, I told them that I was a concerned citizen, and what I found out a little later on was they called her in for an audit, and they decided to go back 5 years and try to find out what happened to this money. And
Wait, what?
Tip here. Bingo.
To tease your vengeful mind.
Here's a few miscellaneous ideas you might try out on your marks. Sending a letter is a beautiful trick, and it works so simply. All you need is a plain piece of paper, and you cut out the letters from magazine or newspapers, right? You got to say, "Dear so-and-so," the mark's name, "I know what you're up to." Now, if he's like most people, he's got something he's doing that he shouldn't be doing, and he's going to feel guilty, and he's going to wonder who knows about it. And even if he hasn't done anything recently, you're going to drive him up the wall wondering why anybody would send something like this to him. Now, if your mark is a member of the minority, you might turn him over to the Immigration Service. This is going to...
I'm sorry, what? Excuse me, what? He didn't even say, by the way, he didn't even fucking say, like, if your mark is an immigrant, like an undocumented immigrant, which would have been fucked up anyway. He just said, if your mark is a minority, like if your mark is brown, call the INS.
Going to cause him hours and hours of endless paperwork trying to prove he's a citizen of this country. Listen to what one of my clients did.
I've been having some problems with my next-door neighbor. I loaned her some money, and she just refused to pay me back. So I was getting a little irritated, and a friend of mine told me to call.
I don't get it. So this doesn't work if he's white? Like, this guy bumped into me at the bar, so I had him deported prank.
Mr. Vickers, and I did, and he was very nice. And what he told me to do was call the Internal Revenue Service and tell them that she had a business on the side and was making money, and she hadn't been reporting her income. So what they did was, when I called up, I told them that I was a concerned citizen, and what I found out a little later on was they called her in for an audit, and they decided to go back 5 years and try to find out what happened to this money. And from what I gathered, she's been making weekly trips down there, and I would imagine it's been a little bit of an inconvenience for her, but whatever. And I would think that she's probably there right now.
Always keep in mind that a newspaper is a great source for getting even. One of my clients placed an ad in the mark's name, advertising that he was going to have a big moving sale. Everything in the house going for 1/5 of its cost. And needless to say, he picked a time, a weekend, when he knew the mark would be home relaxing, right? The guy was inundated by bargain seekers, ruined his weekend, ruined his life. Another cute trick is to place an ad saying that you are the sucker and you have 50...
Bargain seekers ruined his life. I don't know why I find that such a funny thing to say.
$50,000 that you're open to any and all investment possibilities. And of course, you include the mark's phone number. Well, needless to say, the phone will be ringing off the hook with all the cuckoo birds out there who have the great investment possibility. You want to make your mark real paranoid? Listen to what another one of my clients did.
My former boss fired me for no damn reason whatsoever. So I put his name in the obituary column in the newspaper. And making sure that he received it, I mailed it to him with a note saying, "Someone out there is watching you." Then I put an ad in one of those gay magazines and put his name and number, and that worked.
Wait, that's just a death threat. Like, that's not a revenge. That's just a death threat. At what point does it turn around and turn into something entirely separate? This guy's been real adamant about shrimps in the curtain rods. He's been talking about it this whole time. Look at this. The best revenge is to put raw shrimps in the curtain rods at someone's house. The best revenge is to put raw shrimps in the curtain rods at someone's house. What's going on, man? Did you put raw shrimps in the curtain rods of someone's house? Like, what happened? Like, this stuff is fake, man. I don't know why you're revealing what kind of freaky shit you got into.
Worked in several levels. First, it affected his marriage. Then every time that phone rang, I can just see how paranoid he really was. Just jumping out of his seat. Then just think of the cost of him having to change the phone number.
To be fair, the modern equivalent of what this guy's talking about is literally, my boss fired me, so I went to the nearest Walmart and purchased an AR-15 and multiple bullets. You know what I mean? Like, so I guess technically, all things considered, just the death threat situation is like probably a little bit more reasonable, a little bit more appropriate in comparison. It's still not appropriate, but...
And contact all his friends. This guy really deserved it. I enjoyed it.
You know, a newspaper is a great source for revenge. Be inventive. Check it out. You're going to come up with dozens of ideas of your own.
You know, Mr. Vickers is right. You don't have to be an expert to create some wonderful revenge techniques. We've been receiving dozens of letters from people just like you, detailing some delicious bits of revenge. A woman from Fort Worth, Texas writes in telling us how she got even with a former friend who owned a popular vending machine. She stuffed cotton way up into the change return slot.
Wait, what?
This had a twofold effect.
Who owns vending machines? Like, what? That's like oddly specific. That's a very weirdly specific revenge for a very weirdly specific person that has a very weirdly specific problem.
One, it upset a former friend's customers because the machine wouldn't return their change. And two, when the woman returned a few days later and pulled out the cotton, she hit the jackpot. A man from Tempe, Arizona.
Okay, that's just not even revenge at that point. You're just like taking money from other people. Also, like, you got your money up by what, $2? Sick. To be fair, though, $2 back in 1983, you could probably buy a house with that. You know what I mean? You put a down payment on a house.
Donor wrote in saying that his favorite prank is to phone his mark from a payphone, preferably during the day. Then once his mark answers the phone, the man simply leaves the payphone's receiver hanging off the hook, effectively tying up his mark's phone line for hours until the phone company can reconnect his service. Keep those cards and letters coming in, folks. Question.
Wait, what?
Name the location where the average person feels most secure, most comfortable.
That's not how that works. What the fuck? Is that how that works? They can just hang up from the other side. Plus, you didn't put unlimited money in the payphone. Okay, that one is stupid. All the other ones are valid and real and good.
Answer, their home. Naturally. After all, a person's home is their castle, right? The only problem is that none of us have a moat to protect us. Meet private investigator Kyle Pappenfuss. He's about to take us on a tour of what one can do to a mark's home.
All right, first things first. The mailbox. Easy pickings. Everybody has a mailbox, and everybody reaches for their mail. Who says you can't put more than mail in there, huh? How about some pancake batter, motor oil, Jell-O, pudding? Anything can go in there. Just close your eyes and think of something nasty you wouldn't want in.
Literally also a federal crime. For the record. I mean, I don't know. He's like, how about a bomb? It's also a felony to tamper with someone's mailbox, for the record.
In there. Get the picture? Practically every homeowner takes pride in a really beautiful lawn. It's considered part of the pride of ownership of a house. Of course, to me, it's just a gigantic opportunity. You see, a little weed killer in a bottle like this can work wonders on a lawn. See, it not only kills the weeds, it kills the grass. So you can spray this over and make all kinds of designs on somebody's lawn. As a matter of fact, you could even spell out obscene words. In a couple of weeks, when the grass dies, wham! You'll have trouble with the neighbors for the next month. Okay, we're at the front door. If you're really looking for a way to tick off your newfound friend, how about the doorknob, the keyhole? Some nice epoxy glue right in there. This is going to cost them not only aggravation, but money, too. And another nice thing about the front door, most front doors have a mail slot. And you know where mail slots go? The living room. That's right. Now, you only do this if you really want to get back at your newfound friend here. Because a lot of times they put hoses right next to the front door. And you know what you can do with that hose? You can run it right into the mail slot, right there. You turn it on, you split the scene, Captain Happy comes home, and he can paddle his way to the
Just an insane amount of water damage.
telephone. Now, while we're at the front door here, what better way to get to your mark than by leaving a message on that very same door? Say he's got somebody working for him, like a gardener, a pool man, a bottled water guy. You can leave a message for them on there. Like for the pool guy, for instance. Say, drain the pool and give it an acid bath. That's usually a couple of $100. Or better yet, for the gardener.
A couple of $100? What pool is being drained for a couple $100? Damn, dude, 80s was cheap as
Those
fuck.
expensive hedges. Pull them out. Put in pumpkins or palm trees. Or you can get that bottled water guy. Leave a message from the mark saying, hey, stop making nice with my wife. I know what you're doing. I'm on to you. Hey, there's thousands of things you can do with messages. Be creative. Have fun with it. Now, if he has a pool and you can get access to it without anybody seeing you, whew, what a gallon of cooking oil.
This has made me realize white people genetically are terrorists. The suburbs aren't safe.
Wouldn't do for that pool, especially the filtration.
Yeah, but when white people do it, it's called mischief, okay? Bernie Sanders doubled his income last year by writing a best-selling book that condemns capitalism per Business Insider. According to the latest annual financial disclosures, Bernie Sanders earned $170K in book royalties. Wait, that's it? That's what these motherfuckers are pocket watching? What a con man, lol. Elon responded too. I can't see it. I don't know why, but I'm happy. Look at all these fucking dumbass blue check marks. You hypocrite. The irony? Like a true capitalist, lol. Group photo of everyone Bernie's lived to. Oh, God. Oh. My upstairs neighbors died today. R.I.P. I guess. I don't know. Or good riddance if you hated him. I don't know. What the fuck kind of take is that? It was revenge. I don't even know what to say to this. I don't know what to say. Not to the neighbor thing. The neighbor thing we already handled, obviously. We said I covered both angles. But the Bernie Sanders book thing. Like, I don't even have a good take for it at this point that I haven't even brought up. Sorry, he was nice, just kind of shocking. Okay, RIP then. Elon's 53,000 likes. I want to die. I just, like, when I see this shit, I want to fucking die. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. On. I mean, 44 billion for 3K likes is kind of a bad price. They're just so stupid. Like, I just... Damned if he makes money, damned if he doesn't. These right-wing freaks are idiots. Did you say you were going to talk to Charlie Moist? I was supposed to, but then yesterday he wanted to talk. He was down to talk. By the time he was down to talk, I was leaving, though. Like, I was ending the stream because I had to take care of Kaya. And then today, I think he's doing, like, today and tomorrow, he's doing Moist Mogul stuff. So he can't. So we can't talk, unfortunately, this weekend. No, I'm trying to fucking... Hasan's birth chart reading? What the fuck? Yo, you made like a crazy... You wrote this. Have you watched the second vid on it? Yeah, I did. It might be stupid, but they're still paying $8 a month for Blue when they could be paying $5 a month to avoid the top of the hour ad break. Wait, did I forget to run the top of the hour ad break, by the way? Oh my God, I did. I did not even run it. Okay, chatter. This is one instance where it actually makes sense. Thank you, chatter, for reminding me to run the top of the hour ad break, which comes at the top of every hour. What happened in natal charts? We have it. A chatter, an astrology mommy chatter, actually wrote a pretty solid analysis on the natal chart here. And I'm gonna look at it right now, but hold on. I'm still trying to. This is like one of those things that like pisses me off so much. I don't know how to respond to it. You know what I mean? I screenshotted the tweet. Bernie Sanders doubled his income last year by writing a best-selling book that condemns capitalism. Bernie Sanders leaving his third lakefront property to go speak about the evils of wealth and capitalism. It just makes me like unreasonably angry. I don't know how to describe it. You respond, they'll just say the same shit to you. I don't even give a fuck. What's his net worth? $180 billion. They calling him a hypocrite won't make Bernie wrong. The pharaohs are blushing. Wanting free healthcare for all Americans or fighting inequality means cannot abo- royalties. No, I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible for all the fucking baby-brained idiots. Elon Musk, net worth $180 billion, is claiming that wanting free healthcare for all Americans or fighting inequality means you cannot sell a book and make money from the royalties. Shit take? Why is that a shit take? Your comments all streamed today is alluded to the Russell Brand quote. When I was poor and complained about inequality, they said I was bitter. Now that I'm rich and I complain about inequality, they say I'm a hypocrite. Yeah. There you go. It's just fucking crazy, dude. Or juice it. Time. What causes people to have peasant brain like this if they send for Elon, someone like Elon? I don't know, but seeing the number of likes on this fucking stale ass, old ass fucking meme and the retweets made me want to immediately perish. 54,000 likes on this fucking tweet, dude. It's so, like, I'm willing to bet that the overwhelming majority of Americans that like this tweet would legitimately improve their lives if Bernie Sanders' advocacy turned into real life policy. That's what frustrates me about this. It's like the peasants advocating against their best interest. That's what kills me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it blows my fucking mind how stupid people can be. Bro, you ain't got no money in your fucking wallet right now. Like, a medical bill would ruin your fucking life. And you're out here being like, this old man. No, not a majority, every single one. Probably. Like, every single person that hit like on that would get fucking eviscerated by medical debt.